Most people spend their entire lives trying to look impressive. They try to look smarter, richer, stronger, louder. They walk into every room thinking they need to prove something. They talk too much, show too much, reveal too much. Because deep down, they're afraid of being underestimated. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Being underestimated is not a disadvantage. It's a weapon. And if you know how to use it, it becomes one of the most unfair psychological advantages you can ever have. Think about it. When people think you're weak, what do? They relax. They lower their guard. They stop analyzing you. They stop defending themselves. They stop seeing you as a threat. And the moment someone stops seeing you as a threat, you've already won. Because now you can move freely while they stay blind. Most battles aren't won by strength. They're won by information. And the person who reveals less always controls the game. Look at loud people. They're constantly advertising themselves, bragging about plans, announcing goals, explaining every move. It feels confident, but psychologically, it's suicide. Because the more you show, the easier you are to predict. And predictable people are easy to defeat. Now compare that to someone quiet, calm, almost invisible. They don't flex. They don't argue. They don't compete for attention. People label them harmless, average, maybe even boring. And that's perfect. Because while everyone else is busy performing, this person is collecting data, watching patterns, learning weaknesses, mapping the room like a chessboard. And when they finally move, it's already too late for everyone else. Let me give you a simple scenario. Two co-workers want the same promotion. One keeps talking about how hard he works, reminding the boss about every small achievement, trying to look important. The other just shows up, does the work, and says almost nothing. Most people assume the loud one is more ambitious, more driven. But here's what really happens. The loud one creates pressure, expectations, targets on his back. Everyone watches him closely, judges him closely. One mistake and he looks incompetent. But the quiet one, nobody's watching. No pressure, no spotlight. He improves silently, builds skills silently, builds relationships silently, and one day he gets promoted out of nowhere. People call it luck. It's not luck, it's strategy. Because invisibility gives you room to grow. This is the first rule of psychological warfare. Visibility creates resistance. Invisibility creates freedom. When people see you as competition, they block you. When people see you as harmless, they help you. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Ever notice how people share secrets with the quiet, nice guy at work? Or how they talk more openly around someone they don't see as threatening? That's not random. Humans instinctively hide information from threats and reveal information to non-threats. So if you look dominant too early, you lose access to valuable data. But if you look neutral, even weak, people hand you their weaknesses for free. And knowledge is always more powerful than intimidation. There's also an ego trap here that destroys most people. They want respect immediately. They want recognition immediately. They want everyone to know how capable they are. But chasing respect makes you look insecure. Real high-level operators don't chase respect. They let results speak later. Because delayed impact is always stronger than loud promises. Think about movies. The scariest character isn't the one screaming threats. It's the quiet one in the corner who hasn't said a word. The one you can't read. The one you forget about. Until suddenly everything falls apart and you realize they planned it the whole time. Humans fear what they can't measure. And underestimation makes you unmeasurable. If people can't calculate your level, they can't defend against you properly. That's psychological stealth. Now here's where this gets practical. Imagine you're negotiating money. If you walk in trying to look powerful, trying to dominate, the other side instantly becomes defensive. Tighten up, they push back. But if you walk in calm, meaning no ego, almost casual, they relax. They talk more. They reveal their limits, their budget, their fears. And suddenly, you know exactly where to strike. You didn't overpower them. You simply let them underestimate you. That's far more efficient, because overpowering costs energy. Underestimation costs nothing. The same applies socially. The person who tries to be alpha all the time looks fake, exhausting, try hard. But the quiet one who smiles, listens, and speaks rarely feels grounded, mysterious, stable. People project strength onto them automatically. Ironically, by not trying to look strong, they look stronger. This is the second rule. The less you try to impress, the more impressive you appear. Desperation repels. Calm attracts. Here's something most people never realize. When others underestimate you, your mistakes are forgiven faster. If a genius fails, everyone criticizes. If the quiet average guy fails, nobody cares. Expectations are lower. Pressure is lower, which means you can experiment more, take more risks, improve faster. So while loud people are trapped protecting their image, you're quietly leveling up. And one day, when you finally show what you're capable of, it feels shocking, sudden, almost unfair. But it wasn't sudden. It was just hidden. Hidden growth always looks like magic from the outside. But it's just patience, strategy, control. So stop trying to look dangerous. Stop trying to prove you're smart. Stop announcing your next move. Let people think you're normal. Let them think you're slow. Let them think you're harmless. Smile, nod, listen, collect information, build strength in private. And when the time comes, move once, decisively, quietly, effectively. Because the greatest weapon is not being feared, it's not being seen at all. And the person nobody worries about is usually the one they should have worried about the most. Let them underestimate you. It gives you space. It gives you freedom. It gives you the element of surprise. And surprise has ended more battles than brute force ever did. Stay sharp.